Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first podcast of Magnify. And if you know Magnify so far, we have been doing content around award flights, credit cards, how to use your points and miles well. And we thought we should do a podcast as well, along with the written content that we were doing on our blogs, on Twitter, etc. And here we are. This is the very first podcast. So I welcome you all. And the topic that we wanted to choose for the very first podcast was, what if someone is booking his first award flight? How is the experience? What all things go back before you even book the flight? And we wanted to showcase that. So here we are. We will today talk about the first award flight experience. And I was thinking of who to call, and then it was a very natural choice to bring in Ishan, who is also a co founder at Magnify. And he booked his first award flight back in May 2025. So, Ishan, welcome to our very first show of Magnify. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure, Pranav. Hey guys, I'm Ishan. I'm the co-founder of Magnify together with Pranav, and I basically handle all the tech that you see in the product. But I'm a very new person in this airlines and hotel points scenario. Pranav used to share all of his insights about all of this, and I was like, "What is this? I don't even have a credit card because used to live in Europe, and then I did not even have a credit card. I used to have a credit card before moving to Europe, but then I had to convert my accounts to NRI, and then they took away all of my credit cards. So I was very much away from the entire game. And then Pranav used to keep sharing his business class experiences, and then I was like, I really want to do this as well. So we started building this, and 1 year later, I was flying business class. So it was a pretty nice experience.
So yeah, I think you were planning to come sometime in July 2020.
July 2025. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you,
So I was in Berlin, and I wanted to come to Delhi to visit home, and I was planning in July 25. Yes.
yeah, perfect. And I think he told me this in April or May that
Right.
he's planning to come. And I was like, this time he has to book an award flight because it's been more than a year we were building this together, and he never had a chance to, book a flight on points before. Did you book any flight in Europe on award flights? What point?
No, never. In Europe, I've mostly traveled with Ryanair,
Yeah,
right, which is a very cheap flight,
perfect.
and they don't really have all of these things. But the flights are pretty cheap. I remember when I went to Europe in 2019, my first flight I took from Berlin to Venice, and it only costed me 10 euros.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Super. I think we'll have a separate podcast for your Europe travel diaries. Let's get
Absolutely.
to this one. So I wanted to make sure that he books what flight, and basically I wanted him to try business class. Yeah. So it was his first time award flight, and he was introduced to this whole points and miles ecosystem. So I wanted you to, get into this award flight, book your first award flight, and
Also, it was high time, I guess. I was building this for a year. I had to go through the entire business class experience.
first was definitely we had to look where are his points.
But that was easy because I only had one card. So you can just go to HDFC. I
Why did
had
you
H
tell, yeah, about the card? I know the backstory, but let
right,
everyone hear on how did you get that card.
right. So I have a HDFC Infinia, and it's a card that everybody talks about on Twitter. And it's interesting how I got it because for NRIs you don't get a card at all. But then I talked to a RM, and I basically asked him a couple of times that, hey, I really want this card and this specific card. Tell me what to do. I'll do it. And then he was like, sir, we don't give cards to NRIs, but then I'll try. And
Mm.
then he eventually tried, and then he said, you'll have to do a FT for 9 lakhs, and then we'll give you a card. I was like, that's pretty
So,
cool. I'll do it.
so it's a fixed deposit based credit card. Yeah, amazing, amazing. So
Right.
Ishan got his HDFC Infinia on fixed deposit. So he opened a fixed deposit of 9 lakh with HDFC Bank, and they gave him this beautiful HDFC Infinia card. And I'm sure
Right.
you used it left, right, center for the lounge.
Everywhere. I also, yeah, so you get infinite lounge accesses, right? Worldwide.
Yeah.
And then I also enabled global value program, right, which was also recommended by you. So I was also swiping it abroad in Europe and getting points on them as well. So everything I did, I was just using my Infinia, because if I use my cards that I have in Germany, they don't provide me any value. So I was using Infinia for local Europe transactions as well.
Of course, of course. So it was very simple for us to, figure out where all his points can be transferred because HDFC Infinia has only couple of partners like Flying Blue, Avios, KrisFlyer,
Yes,
and
sir.
one. Right,
Yep.
other one is to 0.5, so we didn't really bother about that. And I started searching for his flights on seats.arrow. What is the award availability, right? And during the time he wanted to travel plus minus 3 days, I could see couple of Air India and Lufthansa flights. And
Right.
since this was his first business class experience, I wanted him to get in a flight which is a good business class product, at least a fair business class product, not the old Air India flights. So luckily, they had Delhi Frankfurt run by the Vistara 7879 uh,
Right.
Dreamliner.
I
So
think there were other options as well. There
yeah,
were also Flying Blue option and Avios options, but the taxes on them were pretty high.
yeah,
So we finally ended up with Air India.
super. So by the way, we did not transfer the points to Air India. The flight was, I think, what was the flight? Berlin to.
So it was Berlin to Frankfurt in a Lufthansa, and then Frankfurt to Delhi in Air India.
Got it. Yeah. So it was a Star Alliance flight. So definitely we had to look for something Star Alliance. Where can he transfer his HDFC Infinia points? And we had Air India and Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer as an option. So Air India points were very high for this segment. So we naturally chose KrisFlyer as a transfer partner. And I mean, I quickly went on to the Magnify app, saw how many points are required, and the calculator that we built together, and it was around 61,500.
500.
Yeah, 1,500 in a business class. And I think by that time,
Now,
how many points you had?
I had around 90,000 points, 90,000 to 100,000 points. And I
Yeah.
remember you also told me just go to KrisFlyer's website and then check out for about flight availability. And then I was like, how do I do all of that? And then I went onto the website, struggled to find about flight, and then I could not find anything. Right. And then I called you again. I was like, how do I find flights? I can't see Air India. And then you said there's a Star Alliance button, there's a partner airline. And then I went through the entire website and then figured that there are multiple flights available and you can book Star Alliance flights from Chris Flyer's website
Yeah.
through that.
We'll put a screenshot over here. The concept here is very simple. Star Alliance is an alliance of multiple airlines like United, Air India, Singapore Airlines, Lufthansa, and there are 10 plus partners in this alliance. And you can book award flight of any of the partner using KrisFlyer or Air India, or for that matter, any points. So if you have points in United, you can book an Air India flight. If you have points in Lufthansa miles, you can book a Singapore Airlines flight, right? So this is through the partner connectivity of their alliance. So as Ishan said, basically when you go into the Singapore Airlines flight award flight search, you see that okay, first they list only Singapore Airlines flights. So they have three tabs. So if you want to find a Star Alliance flight, you have to click on that Star Alliance partner button, and there you will find all your Star Alliance flights. So yeah, I think
Right.
then you could locate it, right?
I think I was flying around 12th of July
Okay.
and I found a couple of options. I was very flexible. I did not have to fly on 12th. So, and I was also specifically looking for day flights because I wanted to really
Oh,
experience the
of course.
business class experience. I did not want to sleep through it. So I was looking for a day flight and I found 12th of July and I was like, let's do it.
Yeah. So remember, he was like, "Yeah, मेरे पास I have 90,000 points. I book economy or should I book?"
Right, right.
I was like,
I was like, if I book economy, it's only gonna cost me 30,000 points, so I can do 3 trips. And in business, it's like 1.5 trips. Why should I pay more?
I
But then Pranav forced me to do it. He was like, just do it.
Yeah, of course, you have to experience business class, and why not?
I'm glad I did it.
Amazing. So we finalized that the flight will be Lufthansa and Air India, and we figured that we could see the availability on KrisFlyer as well. So it was very easy for us to transfer points from HDFC.
It wasn't really easy. So I was looking for this point transfer on SmartBuy, and I could not find KrisFlyer. I was like, there are so many options. I can see Flying Blue, I think, but I couldn't find KrisFlyer.
Yeah.
So again, I called you. I was like, dude,
That is
what
another
is this?
confusion. For some reason, HDFC has two portals for point transfer. They have one Smart Buy portal where you see Lotus Miles, Air France, Flying Blue, Air India, etc. And there is another portal,
Banking portal.
net banking, where they have Singapore Airlines. I think earlier they used to have three over there: Intermiles, Vistara, and Singapore Airlines. Now Vistara is gone.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether Intermiles is still there, but they are
Mhm.
using net banking portal for their Singapore Airlines transfer. So I think you had to go there. And
Right, I had to go there.
you had a banking relationship with the bank. Yeah, you had an FD.
I had an FT and then I also had the card. So it was I think I had my first HDFC card in 2019. So it's a pretty long banking relationship.
Got it.
Um, so I went to net banking, pretty easy, entered my frequent flyer and everything. And then there was this just a input box, how many miles you would like to transfer. And then I was like, should I enter like 61,500 exact? Should I enter a little more, maybe 62K? Or maybe less. Maybe I should just try with 5 and then see if it actually goes there.
So,
That mentality is still there, right? So
uh,
I remember I called you again. I was
okay.
like, should I send 62K? Should I send 10 and then start with that? And then you were like, if the availability goes away, then you're lost.
Yeah.
And you don't need to send any, even 1 mile more than what you need because it's just a waste. So I remember I did one transaction. I triple checked my frequent flyer numbers, and then I did one transaction of
And
61,500.
every time you triple, four times, five times, whatever you have to, you please check the frequent flyer number, because once the transfer is initiated, you cannot reverse it. Uh,
Right.
may land up in someone else's account. Did you have name input box as well? Whether where?
I think so. I think so. I think they asked for my name. I
Yeah,
think it was pre-filled, but then a frequent flyer number I had to enter specifically.
yeah. So you have to make sure. Sometimes the validation is only at the frequent flyer number. That they don't check the name.
Right.
It belongs to Ishan Gupta or whether it belongs to Pranav Date. If the frequent
Right.
number is valid, they just go ahead and transfer it. For some
Right.
frequent flyer programs, they have this check, but
Mhm.
it's very important to have a look and cross check the frequent flyer number.
So I transferred my points, and I was hoping it's gonna take like a day or two
Mhm.
to for the miles to appear on my KrisFlyer account. But surprisingly, it did in like 3 or 4 hours. I was checking it constantly.
On the app, right, we have this feature where people transfer and then they point ki yaar kitna time laga, right? How much time did it take for them to transfer? And typically, what we saw in the data was like 24 hours to 48 hours mein everyone
Right.
is getting done. But good that you were done within 3-4 hours. That is amazing.
Yeah, I was done in 4 hours, and then I remember calling you again. That hey man, this is done. Now I have points. What do I do next? You're like, just go ahead, book it. I wanted you to be on the call as well, just to make sure that everything is correct. But then you were, I think, busy. So you were like, just do it. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Then I went to KrisFlyer's website.
Was it because I wanted you to experience on your own?
Maybe,
I don't remember, man. But yeah,
maybe.
yeah. How was it? Tell me.
So then I went to the website, and for some reason I could not book it. I
Okay.
couldn't book any of the flights, and I had now 62,000 points.
You could see the flights again, right?
I could see the flights, but I was not able to book it. I was getting some technical issue or something.
Acha.
So I was just not able to book it for like an hour or so. And I was getting agitated by the fact that I've transferred 61,500 miles, right? And
Yeah.
every point costs 1 rupee. And now I'm unable to book it. And then on top of it, I also had, I think, 168 euro charges, which was fine. But the major blocker is I cannot book it, right?
Yeah.
And then again, I remember texting you.
Yeah.
So what is this?
I mean, this sometimes happens, sometimes. So, were you able to enter your card details? Did you reach that stage or? You are getting error even before that.
I think I was entering my card details, and then when I was clicking pay, then nothing would happen. It just give me an
Okay.
error.
Okay. So you were able to figure out. So there was an availability for sure. Maybe the payment had an issue. Yeah. Then
Right,
the very next thing to do in such cases would be just give a call to customer.
right. Right, and that's what I did. I called the Singapore airline customer care in Germany. I was in Berlin at the time, and I just told them that, hey, I'm trying to book this flight and I'm unable to do it. Help me out. I have the miles. Just do it.
Right.
And I called. The guy said, no worries, very calm guy, right? I will take care of everything. I was like, okay. And then he was like, which flight do you want? I told him the exact date, exact itinerary, and then he said, okay, can you also give me your card details? I was like, that's something I wouldn't know in India. But
Okay.
then I was like, sure. I gave him my card number. I gave him my expiry date and CVV. I also did that because in Germany, even if something happens with your money, you can get it back. You can talk to the bank and then they can do something about it.
No, but you
So, oh, right.
so
No, 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 no. But I was giving them my German cards details for the payment,
oh,
right?
is it
For the taxes.
for the
For
taxes
the
you booked with HDFC card? Is it?
No, no, no. For the taxes, I did not pay for HDFC. I
Okay.
paid with my German, which also made sure that if something goes wrong, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my money back.
Yeah, but
So
typically in airlines, I think I have also booked it 2, 3 times with United. And whenever you talk with the customer care agent, right, you have to give them all the details. And
okay,
they even validate at the check-in counter whether you have that card with you or not. Sometimes it happens,
interesting.
very rare,
Okay,
but I remember the United agent told me once that please carry this card when you are going on the check-in. But
interesting.
of course, they did not check it, but the rules can be there. Yeah.
So I gave him my card, and then he booked it right away. And then I got a email from Chrysler that hey, your ticket is booked, and I was so happy.
So you got the ticket, your points were deducted, everything proper.
Everything happened like a charm, and I had the ticket, and I remember calling and telling you as well that hey, the ticket is done. I'm super excited about flying. And the best part is that I was flying back to India and I had to carry a lot of luggage, right? Because I was moving to India, I was planning to do Magnify full time, coming back to India. So
Yeah.
I had to bring a lot of luggage, all the luggage that I took to Germany in the last 6 years. And having a business class experience was pretty important at that point.
3, 4 backpacks. How many backpacks did you carry?
I had two 30 kg bags,
Wow.
the big check-in ones, and then I had one 15 kg backpack, and then another
Super.
thing in my left hand and another in my right hand. I was carrying everything.
I think in business class, if you carry hand luggage like that, I don't think they ever look at you. They
Right.
at airport they can stop you, but the uh,
I don't think they even care at the airport. I mean, you're paying business. They're like, let this guy do whatever he wants to do.
amazing, amazing. I think before that, I remember we had something to do with the seat selection as well, right? Because I want
Yeah.
to this.
Right.
So the first aircraft was what A3? What was that? The Berlin to Frankfurt.
I think it was a small plane. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a small 3 by 3.
Narrow body plane
Yes.
would be a 737 or A320. But the
The
longer,
second one was 787,
yeah.
like a
So
9. I think the Vistara one.
referred to Delhi was Vistara 7879, and luckily, when he was flying, the aircraft did not change. Because
Right.
it also can happen, right? I mean, you book it looking at that aircraft. Ki, "Arey, I'm this aircraft flies from Frankfurt to Delhi, but at last minute, because of many things, they can change the aircraft. Luckily,
One of the reason we booked that was that it had a lie flat
yeah, of
seat.
course. Yeah, yeah, of course. For 8 hours plus, I think every flight will have the lie flat.
Got it. Got it. But it also had a 1-to-1 configuration. I think that was also one of the
Yeah.
deciding
Oh,
factors.
yeah, yeah. That was a one-to-one configuration. So there was quite a bit of availability there. And definitely he was flying alone. So I wanted him to try the window seat experience.
I think for even for that, you opened up a website and you were like, let's look at the sun's position
Yeah.
so that you can look outside and then live your life.
Yeah. So there is apparently a website called sunflight.org or something. I'll put it in the chat. description, and where you mention your flight details and timing that you fly, and then they will tell you was which side of the aircraft you will find the sun. So you can plan if you want, if you do not want a sun on your side, you can choose the other side. So it helps you
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, yeah.
You booked it in May, right? You booked it in May and you are flying in July. So I think we booked the seat as well in May and it is free. But some airlines like Air France and KLM, they charge for even luxury.
For the next 2 months, I was just collecting all the stuff, putting it in my bags. Was super excited about the business class experience until the day came.
How was the lounge? I heard the lounges are not that great in Europe. I happened to go in couple of them, but how was it in Berlin and how was it in Frankfurt?
So in Berlin, until I think last year, there was not even a lounge available. So they had like two shops, like a cafeteria or something, where you can just go, show your priority pass, and then you get access. But it's not a lounge. But they had recently opened a lounge last year. So I was super excited to go there. It was a business class lounge.
By the way, this was your business class, not so you did not use your priority pass.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I did not use my priority bar. So I went to the business class lounge and I was expecting like live counters and stuff like we see in India, right? I was hoping it's a business class experience, you should get that. But I remember I saw some newspapers, very basic seats, and then regular European breakfast, right?
Okay.
It was an early morning flight because it was a day flight. The entire experience was a day experience.
Mhm.
So very basic lounge. I did not it was not an amazing experience at all. It was like a regular lounge. You go there, you have your coffee, you read a newspaper, and then you are ready for the flight. Yeah. So then after my lounge, I went to my first flight, which was Berlin to Frankfurt. Even in that, there was a 3 by 3 configuration, and I had booked the aisle seat, so I was happy with that. They brought in food and stuff, which was better than
So just to tell you, basically in Europe, most of the aircrafts, business class is also an economy seat. Basically, they have the same economy seats for all the business class as well. But what they do is, so they have for narrow body aircrafts, they have this 3-3 configuration, which you see in economy of all the aircrafts. And what they do in business class is they just, block the middle seat. So one sits on the aisle, one sits on
right.
window. So I think that was it for you as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I think so. The middle seat was empty,
Yeah.
and then there was one guy on the window seat, and I'm sitting on the aisle seat. And the only difference was
Short flight, right? 1 hour or something.
I yeah 1.5 hours or
Right.
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they brought in food and drinks and whatever you want. And then
Your experience flying business in Europe versus Ryanair.
well comparatively so much better. In Ryanair, even if it's a 6 hours flight,
Uh,
which is a flight from Berlin to I think what are the Spanish islands? Canary Islands. So when you go to Canary Islands, it's a 6 hours flight. You don't even get water for free. And Lufthansa, it's a 1 hour business class, obviously. You get everything. So the
they are
experience is
different carriers, by the way. Lufthansa is a full service carrier, Ryanair is a low cost carrier. So that
right.
will be there, but I'm sure the business class, they must be providing good food.
Probably.
Nice.
Yeah. But in the first flight, I was just hoping that the lounge at the Frankfurt airport would be good.
Yeah. I'm sure they have a senator lounge, right?
Yes, they do. It was better than the Berlin lounge,
Okay.
but it was still not what I was expecting. Maybe I was expecting a bit more because in India you get a lot, right? And it was a business class experience, so my expectations were even higher.
But
But the lounges were pretty.
in India, did you ever go to a business class lounge before? No, right?
But even at the economy lounge, you get these live counters and everything, right? And in business in Europe, you get nothing,
Yeah.
right? So that was a bit disappointing,
They in Mumbai airport as well. I think they give eggs and dosas.
right? And at Bangalore, Delhi airport, you get dosas and omelets, right? You get all of this live, but in Europe, you don't get anything at all.
Yeah. So, but the lounge must be very good because Frankfurt is the home airport for Lufthansa. I am guessing
Yeah.
it must be huge. Were there 2, 3 lounges in Frankfurt airport, or was it only one?
Let me think. So I think the lounge at the Frankfurt airport was also pretty basic. I mean, it was not amazing.
Was it crowded?
It was a bit crowded.
Okay.
I mean, it was not as empty as the Berlin one, but it was not as filled as Indian lounges.
Yeah, of course
So it
not.
was somewhere in between.
Of course not. Got it. Yeah.
The food was also pretty okayish. It was not amazing,
Okay.
um, but it was okayish. But I think the best part came when I stepped into the Frankfurt to Delhi flight, the Air India flight.
Of course. Of
That
course.
experience was amazing.
Of course. I also flew this same aircraft, Delhi to Dubai, and it is amazing. I mean, the experience once you get in on that flight of Vistara, it is.
Even before you get onto the flight, right? They just cut you off initially. Hey, you go left.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
So
else is
they
going
had this.
right. You go left.
Oh, okay. They had this two aero bridges, one for economy.
Yes.
Oh, amazing. Typically
Yes.
in India, they don't do it for some reason. In India, they put only one aero bridge.
Hmm.
I've seen outside India, in Paris, Singapore, they
Yes.
use two aero bridge, one for business class, another for economy.
Economy. Yes. 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 So you just take a left, and then you know you're going in an empty zone, and it's gonna be fun. So you keep walking, and then you enter the plane from the front,
Yeah.
right? And then you have to take a right again. And then you see these business class seats, super amazing. There are people standing who call you by your name. And then they're like, "Hi, Mr. Gupta, let me take your luggage." They'll just put everything over there for
Um,
you, right? And then you just go and enjoy the seat. It's an amazing lie flat seat. Like the entire left side is mine. So I sat there, and then stuff just kept coming in. As soon as I sat there, somebody came with welcome drinks and some snacks. I think I also have the photo of the entire menu. It was a huge menu with like I think 3 or 4 course meals. I mean, even the TV size, right? I mean, I was used to the economy TV size, which is like the business class size was probably like 4 times of the economy one. I was like, what is this? And it was a very good quality TV, very good image quality, and the touches were smooth as anything. So I remember I had a small storage area on the left hand side of me. I opened it up and it had a huge headphone, like a proper over-the-ear headphone, which
yeah.
you can plug in the TV. And then it had a lot of other stuff, your creams if you want to apply something, right? If you want to wash your face. So somebody came afterwards, like, what's your t-shirt size? And I was like, what do you mean? They was like, did you want M, L, XL? I was like, okay, I'll take a M, but can I change it if it does not fit? They were like, sure, you can do it. I took a M and I tried it out. They didn't just have a pajama, they also had like a full t-shirt, had Air India branding everywhere.
Yeah.
They were pretty nice, pretty smooth stuff as well. And then by the time I was doing all of this, they brought in the menu, right? And then I had to decide what I'm gonna eat. And then I told them what I'm going to eat, my appetizers and my main course, dessert, what I'm going to eat. And
You are telling me this all even before the flight took off, right? They
yes, yes, yes,
yeah, so they give the welcome drink even before the flight takes off while
correct,
everybody is boarding in the economy. You board the plane first since you are flying business. You have ample time to settle down, so they give you the
right.
drink and all while rest of the people are boarding, settling in the economy. So
Right, right, right. So in the meanwhile, I changed. I already had my welcome drinks, and I had already opened up my laptop, and I was thinking I'll get good Wi-Fi, which I did on the entire flight. I,
wow,
I I remember I was watching YouTube videos on the flight
really?
as well.
YouTube,
Yes, yes, it was working. I don't know how. I did not expect it to happen. I
interesting.
think the only thing that did not work was a WhatsApp call.
Yeah,
Other than that, I was able to do everything. I think even if I wanted to do a Google Meet call, it would
yeah,
have happened.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think I remember you did push some code as well.
Yeah, I was working on the entire flight. I mean, it did not feel tiring at all. I remember when I used to get out of my economy flights, I was tired after that. I want to go home and then take a shower and go back to sleep, right? But in business, I was so relaxed. The seat, I never felt like I'm flying and it's going to be tiring.
Wow.
It was an amazing seat. I had an ample amount of place to do everything. I can call for a tea anytime. I think I did sleep for like 2 hours because I wanted to experience the sleep as well. And it felt like I'm sleeping on a home bed.
Mm.
So super amazing. Love the entire experience.
I think they have good blankets on the
Yeah.
flight. I'm glad you had a very good sleep. How was the food, man?
The food was super amazing. In economy, you get like a tray with a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff, right? Here I got actual plates
Yeah.
with katoris and all, right? And proper chai in a mug, right? Water in a glass, desserts in a plate. And the food quality, it was super amazing. Like the
Amazing.
food was hot as it should be. and and they gave me this chapatis, which was also super amazing. It felt like it has just been made and then brought for me.
So, did they give this three-course meal? Did they bring appetizer first, then the main course, or was it served all together?
I think they brought everything together.
Everything together. So, because I
Yeah.
remember in some flights they bring everything together, but typically on a large, I mean, 8 hours plus flight, they should ideally bring first the appetizer, then the main course, and then the dessert.
I think the appetizer came first, and then
Yeah,
the main course and the dessert came together.
I'm sure you had multiple coffees on
Of
the
course, of
flight.
course. I was up the entire flight, so I was drinking coffee, I was drinking chai. It was just like a button away, right?
Wait,
And you get a very homely feel.
do they have Starbucks coffee on that flight also? Because in India, for all the domestic business class, if the
Hmm.
flight time was, and this was in the Vistara days, not in the Air India days, if the flight time is more than 1.5 hours, they serve you the fresh brew, French press brew with Starbucks.
Not anymore.
No, no, not anymore. Yeah.
No, 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 no. I remember I had a regular coffee, but the chai was good. So I was getting more chai.
Amazing, amazing. So, how would you summarize your entire booking experience flying business class vis-a-vis your normally you used to fly in economy? How would you summarize your entire experience?
I think the difference is business is relaxing. The economy is just travel.
Yeah,
Business, you
but
enjoy.
yeah, I mean, you need both because you don't have points all
Of
the
course,
time to fly
of
business.
course.
Uh,
So I think overall business class was an amazing experience. I mean, I remember the flight that I booked. The original price, if I would have paid for it, was about more than 3,000.
oh,
And
you
I,
did you
I,
check the cost?
I did, of course, yes.
Wow, wow.
I wanted to check what value am I getting for my points,
Oh, yeah,
right?
the
So
value.
I think I got like 5x value.
Yeah. So six
And
points plus, I think you paid how many taxes did you pay?
I paid 168 euros,
Around
so around 16,000 rupees.
rupees, yeah.
Yeah,
60
about 77,000 rupees if you convert it to rupee value.
61,500 points plus 16,000 rupees of taxes and
Yes,
3 lakh rupees worth of business class. I mean,
right. And even if I have booked economy, it was costing me around 40K. For this, I just paid 16,000
so
technically, and all of my lovely points. I remember I spent for like an entire year, right,
yeah.
before I could have all of these points and then fly. And now I'm in the collecting spree again, spending everywhere,
Collecting
collecting all of these points. I think on Infinia I have 1.25 lakhs.
Wow.
Right.
So one
Yeah.
return leg. All right. I think that's a wrap. Thank you everyone for watching this very first podcast. We will have more such stories, some hacks, some unique experiences for couple of members in this points and mile ecosystem, and we will try to bring them one by one to you. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. See you soon. Bye. Thanks,
Right.
Ishan.
Thanks, Pranav. Have a good one.